Hey guys, this is a quick video to talk about all the 4 different transformations you can have to the sine and cosine graph. This is actually super simple to understand each of these transformations because each of these parts of these transformations only control one aspect, just one part of the sine and cosine graph. Um, if you really understand what they do, when it comes time to sketch the graph, that is a piece of cake. So let's get started. We already talked about a couple in class, but I wanted to front load you with a couple more. Uh, let's start with the equation. It says a times sine of h times x minus b plus d. All right, so each of these right now, I have a value for. D is 0, B is 0, A is 1, and H is 1. D is over here at the end. It's a plus D. So this controls what's called a vertical shift. So it's like you take your sine, whatever your sine is, and then you add a number to it. So if you add a number to it or you subtract a number to it, it's like everything is either moving up or everything is moving down by that much. So we can see if we change that to 2, everything, it's like what we had originally, but then everything just moved up to every single thing, the max, the min, and everything in between. If we have a negative 2, then it just moves down 2, right? So this plus d, this d at the end, this either moves the graph up or moves the graph down. Nothing else. The period is the same, the amplitude is the same. All it does, it causes a vertical shift. The b, this is a minus b, right? So if I have a minus, let's say a minus 1, if you see a minus 1, well, notice that as I went from 0 to 1, my graph moved over to the right, and as I keep increasing, my graph keeps moving to the right. So b causes a horizontal shift, a horizontal translation. It's also called a phase shift, whatever you want to call it. So if you see a minus and this number, whatever number that is, that means move over to the right by that much. If I have a negative number for b, notice that now that as I'm going to my negative, I'm moving over to the left, right? I'm going over to the left. So if you see, since it's a minus, a negative, in your equation it will say a plus b. So if you see a plus b, it means move over to the left by that much. Okay, I'm going to put this back at 0. Okay, amplitude. Amplitude controls how high and how far down I go from the middle line, right? So if I have an amplitude of 3, now my max value is 3 and my min value is 3. So I went up 3 and down 3 from the middle. So that's all amplitude does. Also, if I have a negative number, it flips the graph over. So instead of starting going up for sine, I'll start going down. All these examples are for sine, but it's everything I've said so far is also true for cosine. So if you had a negative amplitude, instead of cosine starting at 1 and going down, cosine would start at -1, or its min value. So that's how the negative affects. But then the amplitude is still just the absolute value of 4.5. So even though I started off negative, I'm still going to go down 4.5 and then go up 4.5. Okay, that's amplitude. I'll leave that back at 1. Let's look at H. H controls my period. H controls my period, so that's going to control my horizontal axis, my x-axis. If I change this to 2, notice that instead of my period taking 2 pi for the normal sine graph, it takes just pi to go up, down, and back to 0. So now my period has changed to pi. So H controls your period. And to find out exactly what your period is, just take 2 pi, the length of a normal period, and then divide it by 2, or in this case 2. But you normally just divide it by H, and that's how you get your period. So if my this was 4, if H was 4, Then we take 2 pi divided by 4, and we get pi over 2. And then notice that a whole period is just pi over 2 now. So that's how h affects your graph. Also notice for if we have a negative h, like I'm just going to put it at -1. Notice that my sine graph now also flips over. We start going down instead of up. And this is true for the sine graph. But for the cosine graph, I'm going to turn the sine graph off for a second. For the cosine graph, everything I said so far is true, except if I have a negative inside of the cosine, it actually does not affect the graph at all. Right? So that's cosine of negative x. This is cosine of x. And they actually are right on top of each other. They're the same thing. That's because cosine is an even function. So that's why it doesn't affect it at all. It still will change its period though. All I'm saying is that the negative inside of the cosine won't affect the cosine graph. And that's it. Those are the different transformations you can have for a sine or cosine function. In the next video, I'll show you how you can use this knowledge to help you graph. So thank you guys.